All right, welcome everybody. Welcome to Shenanigans. It's a new cast today. That's because Pete Brown, my friend, my comrade, my partner in crime, is actually very sick with COVID, and he cannot be here. Nico was already scheduled to be here today, so we thank him for that. And I got a quick replacement, a star of a man. He jumped up at the call, and last minute I called him up and said, "Joe, can you jump on and add to the roundtable discussion that we're going to have today?" And he was a champ, and he came on. So thank you very much, Joe, for being a last minute entry and jumping on and being very flexible to do that. I appreciate that a lot. So welcome to Shenanigans. Before we start, we always say the opinions that are represented at this show are ours and ours alone. Do not take it to heart. Do not get butthurt, whatever it is. We are just here to have a good time, talk a bit of slot cars, talk about personal stuff, and let loose on a Thursday afternoon, in my case, or evening in UK. But before we get started, let's go into the chat, see who's here. I'm going to go from the top. So thank you for being here. John Bold, Mark Petch, Eric, Slotcar Wildman. I believe it's either Ian or Doug. I think Ian's on the road, so this is probably Doug from Think Magnetic Racing, MagFans.
MagFans.
We have Dan from 33 Being Racing. John Tucci's here. Rob Sale is here. Who else? We got SVR. Dan is here from Slot Valley Racing. Fellow Canadian boy. Bo Momo is here. Thank you very much, Bo. DG from Down Under is here as well. Thank you for being here, DG. Andy and Ruben are here. Clearwater 124 is here. Look at this. Pretty busy. Vernon's Cave is here. Thank you so much. And I'm pretty sure other people will roll in as we continue. We have 22 watching. I think I'm very blessed to have 22 people watching us this afternoon. I know I have been silent on YouTube for a while, but we'll get into that and other things. But yeah, so before we get started, just go around the room, see how everyone's doing. Nico, how have you been? How's life since UK Slot Car Fest, my friend?
As Massimo said, different. It's not the same.
Yeah.
And I fully agree on that. It's not the same. I had to leave my brothers behind. Come on. I mean, everybody.
Yeah, it was funny.
No.
I remember when we hugged at the airport, when me and Massimo, we said goodbye, and we're rolling, and Massimo was like, "Oh, this doesn't feel good." Saying goodbyes is too hard. It was the way we felt.
It was hard. And it's always in life, you know, when you've got a high, what comes after the high?
The low.
The low. So, yes, I have to admit I had to fight my lows. Family was missing. I worked my way through that, meaning work just kicked in immediately, and I was back on the floor again. So all good. Back into business, back into home slot car racing, slot car tuning, you know, guys. And talking to guys on the internet like, "Hey, Joe," having conversations all across the big pond. People calling me up and saying, "Yeah, I want to have a conversation with you," ending up with a total new workout scheme for his trigger hand.
Yeah, man. You love it. Eh? I love that trick or that new technique, whatever you want to call it. We were just talking about it before. I catch myself grabbing the controller like normal, my Franken slot, and just going like this and being like, something's wrong with the car. And then just subconsciously, I just flip it as I'm riding. I'm like, that's what's wrong with the car. I'm not driving it the right way. And you just do the thumb. It's just, you've changed my life, Nico. It's night and day.
Right.
Night and day.
And I know, Joe, this is a last-minute call-up, but first we need to wish Joe a happy belated birthday. It was his birthday this past weekend, was
10th,
it? Yeah.
Yeah. On the 10th,
And so we want to wish Joe happy belated birthday. Everyone now knows it's out there in the universe that you became a year wiser, hopefully, and a year smarter. We'll see. But Joe, how you been,
we'll
man?
see.
Talk to us.
I've been good. I've been good. Just dealing with the beginning of this what is a short summer for us Canadians. So I've been a little bit busy. Just family life, work life. I'm here at work. That's what this is. This background is. My buddy lent me his his office. I think people think that I'm on a job interview, so we'll just keep them guessing, and that's it. So thanks for the call. I'm glad to take a break and take an hour off and hang out with you guys. So thank you. Thanks for even thinking of me, man. I appreciate it a lot. I'm glad to
Yeah,
be
no
here.
worries. Always, always. I wanted to once again remind everyone that normally Pete is here. He is normally my partner in Shenanigans, but he is unfortunately under the weather, and we want to wish him a very quick and happy and speedy recovery. And yeah, hopefully he's back up for Sunday, his live stream. And if you haven't caught that, I hope you go over, subscribe, and catch his live streams on Sundays because Pete does a phenomenal show. Another thing that I want to say just before we get started here and we go through our process is I want to wish MP good luck because MP actually had an accident on Monday. And he's fine. Everybody's fine. But the car that we also love with the red interior is now gone. So
Oh, no.
we want to say
Oh, no.
hopefully MP does well and he'll be back with a new car soon. But anyway, just wanted to wish my brother MP a speedy get out of, I don't know, it's a funk. It's been a funk since everyone's come back from the UK Soccer
no.
Fest. And we wanted to just, reach out, talk to each other. So I just wanted to let everyone know. All right. So we're here for Shenanigans. It's a little bit different. This is a no-holds-barred show. But today it's a pretty good show. We're going to talk about, why we're all here and the impact of being on YouTube, what it means to each one of us, and what got us to this point. Now, I would like to chat. And I know there's a lot of people in the chat that are YouTube creators as well. To please be involved, send out your questions, write a Q in front of it, and that way we can discuss openly amongst the three of us and amongst you in the chat as well on this YouTube journey that we're all taking. So, and the impact on this hobby from each one of our perspectives. So, are you guys ready to get down and dirty? Yes?
Do it all the way. All the way.
All right. So, let's open up with the first question, right? So, why did you start your YouTube channel? And I'm going to go with Nico first.
Because I wanted to promote the hobby and bring it back to the level it was in the 60s.
Okay.
Have as many people as possible join tracks, have fun, and race their butts off.
All right. Cool. Let me just remove that UK thing. All right. Let's talk about it, Joe.
I basically started the YouTube channel for two reasons. One, I needed a creative outlet. I've been, involved in music and production and playing and recording since I was like 14. And when the studio, when I had to kind of, close my studio down, I just always was involved in projects and I really didn't have anything to do. So, when I got to the track and was really excited about it, I just said, well, I need this outlet. Let me just start doing videos. If they catch, and that's it, right? And the second reason really is just to document my journey because I wanted to bring information out there when I had started a year ago that I wasn't finding on YouTube. Once I realized that YouTube seemed to be where everyone was hanging out. So I'm like, well, as a newbie, there's kind of some info that's kind of missing, I found. So that's really the only two reasons why I said, hey, give it a shot. What's the worst thing to happen? You don't do it.
So my question to both of you would be, was it always going to be slot cars right off the bat when you started your YouTube journey?
What do you mean that I
Like,
only do
when you decided to jump
Yeah.
onto YouTube? Was it because of slot cars that brought you to YouTube, or you're like, I want to start a YouTube channel, and slot cars is the one I choose because I feel most interested with? It's kind of a different question, right?
You want me to go first, Nico? Or?
Yeah,
anyone.
go for it. Go for it, Joe.
Okay. Well, I had a few channels before, and I was flirting with the idea of doing a hunting channel, because my first passion is hunting. And I went over with some buddies, and we had started stuff, but nothing really took off. So when I started this, I figured this, it seemed easy enough. Point, shoot, talk about what you want to talk about, film a few cars running, and go forward. So I didn't want to mix and match my YouTube. I said, I told myself, if you're going to do something on slot cars, only do slot cars. Don't talk about other stuff. Don't talk about your board games. Don't talk about your hunting stuff. Don't talk about fishing. Specifically, if you're going to start a channel, my mindset, my goal was start a channel, but it will only be dedicated to slot cars. If that answers your question.
Okay. What about you, Nico?
Well, it's the hobby for me. So there was no doubt on just keeping it strictly to slot cars. And I thought, well, the reason why I started the YouTube channel is Travis. Thanks, mate, for that, by the way. You created a monster once, you said. So yeah, here I am. When he was in Austria, we met. And he went to my club with me, or I invited him. And he said, well, can you just explain a few things? And I did. And he went afterwards and said, you're a natural. You should do that, And it just kept working in my mind and trying to bring people back to the hobby again. I thought this should be done. But one thing we shouldn't miss out is there were questions from
Yes.
the...
So one of the questions that came up here is, hi everyone, do you think there's enough slot car content creators now or still room for more? And this comes from Nathan. So this is a really good question. What do you guys think? Yeah?
Joe, go for it.
No? Joe?
Me? I was pointing for you. Yes, absolutely. There's definitely room for more. You can never have enough. We are such a niche, small market, if you will, compared to the bigger YouTube and what other people are doing. Just compared to the gaming community, where we're like a drop in the bucket, right? So I love seeing new channels. There's always somebody with a new perspective that's going to come in. So I definitely want to see more. Yes, I do believe personally that we have way more room to grow, and there is room for more channels. Without getting into all the subcategories of that. But yeah, to answer your question, no, definitely. So if you're thinking about starting a channel, don't be like, oh, there's enough out there. No, do a channel, please.
Yeah, I think I've been a big supporter and advocate for everyone pressing record, because, and this comes down to your point of view, right? Because everyone has a different point of view, and I believe that everyone's point of view is relevant. And I think that's the main issue and the main reason to start a YouTube channel is to document your point of view, contribute to I think when you have a community that contributes to the whole hobby, it makes the hobby richer, right? And I think, a matter of fact, going to UK Slot Car Festival, I didn't know anyone of you guys landing in the UK. We met on YouTube. That whole journey was from YouTube. It wasn't like I knew Nico from before YouTube. I never knew Massimo from before YouTube. I never knew Pete from before YouTube. And Joey, when you came to my house, we had never met before, right? It was strictly on YouTube. We just knew each other from YouTube. And I think that is the power of starting a channel. It's not just about you creating content. It's you involving yourself with the community and becoming, a contributing member to the community. So whether you're commenting on a video, whether you're starting your own videos, as long as you're involved in the community and trying to build a better hobby for tomorrow, then yeah, for sure, I think there's room for everyone and more and lots more. Yeah. Nico, you have something to add?
I fully agree. I mean, there can never be enough creators. And yes, Joe, you were absolutely right. We're still a niche compared to the gaming community, for example. And the more content creators out there that press the record button, as you said, Rahul, the better. And
Yeah.
I mean, the best example was the UK Slot Car Festival. 4 guys being at the same room, but presenting it in 4 different ways,
Yeah.
concentrating and focusing on different things, which means we were all in the same room, but all of us showed this one room differently. Best
Yeah.
explanation.
100%.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, what's up? The Fingers is in the house. Clearwater is here as well. Too Fast Speedway is here as well. Thank you for being here, guys. All right, let's continue to our second question. Who were you targeting, if anyone, when you started your YouTube channel? So, did you
Go
have
for
a
it.
target in mind?
I knew you'd say that. For me, it was all of those guys that already had a slot track when they were like younger, but sold it, got rid of it, forgot about it, and looking or flipping through YouTube and trying to find out if this still exists. And this was one part of it. And the second part of it, you guys know me, it's how to make a slot car run differently. I don't want to say better, differently. Change the behavior of a slot car. Those
Yeah.
2 things were my main goal, yeah.
What about you,
So,
Joe?
okay. So for me, basically, the only person I was really trying to target or the videos I was trying to make were um, basically people like me who were getting in, who had slot car kits when we were younger, but kind of just forgot about the hobby and getting back into it, right? So someone who wanted to know, well, what's the difference between Carrera 132, 124, basic stuff, silicone tires versus non-silicone tires. That's why those were my first 2 videos. I had a list of all the ideas. Every time something came up, I wrote it down, wrote it down. And then I decided to just go with, I ended up going backwards. And one of my first videos was actually my second video was 5 reasons to run silicone tires. And then I wanted to do the controversy, 5 reasons not to run silicone tires. So these were the questions I was asking myself to be like, well, what's really the difference? And there wasn't enough specifics for me. So my target audience for me was anybody who might by chance have the same questions I had, and those are the questions I want answered. So that was basically why, if I was trying to target anybody, basically the newcomer, right? Let's just call it that for simplicity.
Yeah, so Dan from SVR says, I started my channel because I couldn't find the info I needed or was looking for. So yeah, I mean, there is always that need for more information sometimes that will get us going. So I came about this in a very different way because I knew I wanted to do, let's see. So when I decided to start YouTube, it wasn't to do slot cars. It was, I wanted to learn videography and photography, and I didn't really know what medium I wanted to do. So, and then I was like, and COVID had just hit, and everyone's locked indoors, and I was like, well, yeah, I got a new camera. What do I do with it? And I was like, oh, you know what? I like to shoot cars. I'll try this. I'll pull out my old slot car track, and I'm talking about when I only had like 30 something cars and my Carrera track, which is pretty
Only.
good. And I started with that, and yeah, it was just to learn videography and photography. It was to learn my camera, and that's why I started shooting cars. And I would say that my why or who I'm targeting has changed several times while I was doing the YouTube. First, it started for myself to learn. Then it started to get more involved in the community itself because then I started live streaming. And then after that, now it's about, that was when I'm struggling because after the UK Slot Car Fest, I'm like, a lot of people walked up to me at the UK Slot Car Fest and said hi, and I didn't even know them, but they seemed to know me. And I was kind of like baffled. It really throws you for a loop And I'll be very honest. Like when somebody walks up to you and says hi to you, like they know you, like, "Hey, how are you, Raul?" And you're like, "Oh, I don't know you. I'm honored that you know me, but I have, you're an icon on my screen sometimes. I don't know you, like, I don't know your name. I know the acronym, whatever acronym it is,
Hmm.
but I've never really met you." So it was very interesting to have people walk up to me and say hi. And I was a little bit taken aback, and I was like, I sometimes didn't know how to react. I think I'm a bit of an introvert, so when people approach me like that, I become very introverted, and I don't know what to do. So it kind of like puts me in a situation that I didn't know how to respond. So ever since I come back, when I started to write the story of my journey to the UK Stock Fest, like Nico was saying, and if you notice, I didn't really put a lot of my own words in that. I just let the video do the talking through most of my videos. Um, like the tour with Ruben was so intriguing, watching it from his perspective, him controlling the camera, him moving things around. I thought that was so brilliant in its own way, and I really enjoyed that whole journey, that whole experience of watching the UK Slot Fest in that different view. Um, that's what really captures my attention now. It's like, how can I do things differently from the norm, moving forward? So my who I'm recording for has always been for me, and it will always be for me, because it'll be like my legacy to my daughter, or the person that will view my channel in the future, when whatever, right? But that's my whole goal. My whole objective is for that. It's for me. But what do I want to record for myself has been the big question since I come back, for myself, right? To be different, to be unique, to push the envelope. And that's
So,
what's
yeah.
really the blocking point right now.
Sorry
But
that I'm
that's
laughing.
that.
I'm not
No,
sorry. I'm not laughing at Rahul because we started this discussion already before we went live.
yeah.
It feels sorry, Joe, for interrupting. Or
No, no, no.
you need to kick in if you want to jump between. No, just kidding.
Okay. No, that's
No,
how it's how we are.
I was asking the same question after the UK Slot Car Festival to myself: is what kind of content will I do in the future? Because I feel like I'm repeating stuff. Maybe the cars are different, but I'm talking about the same things. So I was asking myself, does it get boring? Because if it gets boring to me, it will get boring to the viewers, which I don't want. So
Mhm.
I'm in the phase at the moment of trying to find content that is still on slot cars, of course, but a little different to what I did up to now. Sorry, Joe.
No, not at all, not at all. And I kind of lost my train of thought though, so don't. I
Didn't.
was just gonna
Sorry.
just add a little
Sorry.
bit to it. With no, not at all. That's why I was trying to write down notes, and that's my fault. Um, no, I just wanted to add to the little bit of maybe an advice or whatnot to be um, if you're gonna at least do a channel, right? You're allowed to do a channel for you and for you only, and to be like, this is what I want to put out, this is what I want to do, and accept the response from the community. But at the same time, I mean, I didn't get that. I could understand what you guys were going through in the, and I'm very happy that you guys got to experience that. Especially, I mean, Nico, we just met, but especially Raul, because I know what kind of person he is, like behind the camera and whatnot. A very kind-hearted person. So for him to get that um, reaction out of people to be like, "Hey, I know you from the internet," right? Um, if I, if you could just help one person, right? If I make a video and it's starting to creep up a little bit now, and I see it, and one person had mentioned they're like, "Oh, by the way, Joe, you were my first channel when I started getting to the hobby. I subscribed to you right away." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "You got something out of my video? That's pretty cool." Like, okay, I'm good now. That one person said he got something. Like, I don't have to. I don't have to do. Like, I don't have to feel stressed about it, right? Like, you don't want to build too much. We'll talk about this a bit later, but someone's going to start a channel. I think at the very, I put your stuff there. At the very, at the very least, like just try to give out some useful information that someone can take home, right? That's just. I'll stop there because now my brain just went a little too much, and I'm trying to dip in. I'm dipping into my other notes, if that makes sense. What I'm trying to say.
Hmm. Well, I'm sorry. There's just a little fire going on at work that they're texting me for. So I'm sorry if I got a little bit sidetracked there.
Oh,
Uh,
no worries.
cool. So let's talk about the next one, which is and this is a big one, I think. What was your biggest hurdle while starting your YouTube channel? What was the biggest hurdle that you overcome?
Are we gonna do, or am I just gonna start them all? We'll just do that. I'll just start them all.
Just
Okay.
just go for it.
I'm
Just
just
go
trying to
for
be
it, Joe.
polite to be. Okay. Okay. Well, let me go to my notes. No, my biggest hurdle, honestly, for me, was myself. Coming from a musical background, and not that I'm like a really great musician or a really great sound engineer or whatever, but it was because I was always working with really great musicians, and we were there every day up until 3 in the morning, getting the parts right, and I just had that work ethic. So unfortunately, that work ethic for me transferred over, and now I had to be not just the producer engineer. I had to be everything: producer, engineer, creator, performer when you do a YouTube channel. So my biggest hurdle was to try to organize my thoughts, just because my brain, you guys hear it, you see it. I'm a scatterbrain. It's just what it is. It's how I am. Other people won't have this problem. Other people, I watch their channels and I'm like, how is this guy not using a script? Like this is amazing. Like it's just so smooth all the way across. And some people can manage that, and I can't. My biggest hurdle was myself. Not to mention, trying to figure out what were the better cameras to use, what audio was good, what's a good scene, making sure not just to capture myself, but to capture stuff behind me. And Raul helped me out a lot with that. I bought a camera on his recommendation, like a lot of us did. Um, and that's about it. But the biggest hurdle, really, without even just trying to learn setting up the scene and how to make good content, was, no, I'm not saying I have good content. I'm just saying I have what I have. But the biggest hurdle was my own brain. That was my biggest hurdle.
All right. So Super Fast Speedway writes, started my channel to document what I'm doing with slot cars, mostly from watching YouTube videos of you guys. Problem is other hobbies, hot rods, home rentals, upholstery, and model cars get in the way. Totally feel your pain. He's too fast. I was just talking to Nico and them about all my collections because I don't only collect slot cars. I collect a variety of different things. I was big into wargaming as well, so choosing slot cars was just because of my love for cars, nothing else. Didn't really know the hobby that well when I started. Getting to know it a little bit more now, but it's a long journey to know this hobby properly. So, say hi to Travis from Down Under. Thanks for being here, Trav.
Hi, Trav.
Yeah. So, what do you think about that, Nico? What was the biggest hurdle that you had to
funny
come
enough, the answer that I prepared for myself is quite close to what Joe said. The biggest hurdle I see in myself, meaning I've got no clue how I come across, and it was funny enough to see Pat's video. Pat Baker, I think it is. His name is.
Yeah.
He mentioned me in his first video saying something like, I changed my view on how Slot Car Dude actually is because of the UK Slot Car Fest content. So it made me think like, okay, seems like I come across, that's my interpretation, seems like I come across quite technical because I'm doing the technical stuff, I know. And them being, normal, I would say, when we were together, or behaving normally when we were together in the Slot Car house, doing our lives, doing our interviews, doing our walkarounds. So that made me think. I have to admit, that made me think a lot, and it keeps working in my head on how shall I present technical stuff in the future, not being that. How did you say once, Rahul? Professor? What you call me? No, you called me a mad professor. That was it.
I'm gonna say this is okay. So let's just talk about Slaka Wildman first. He says confidence is a big hurdle. I think that is the first thing that we always struggle with: is confidence. Am I confident enough to come on a live or even on front of the screen? I know even Massimo doesn't watch his videos back because he hates the way he looks. It's really weird. Like a lot of us don't. We're very self-conscious when we start. I think that's one of the biggest things. But what you do is, as the more and more you talk to this inanimate object, which is a lens, the more you start to get comfortable with it. And I think that's one of the biggest things. That's why I say just press record, and everyone will tell you just press record, because that comes over time. Now, the next thing here, and I think I've struggled with this a lot too, is I have 95 videos and 95 subscribers. I don't know if my content is that bad, or I don't understand the proper way to promote it. So here's the thing, Clearwater. There's no set way to grow in YouTube. YouTube is very much, you can follow the rules of posting every week at the same time and being consistent. I think that's a big part of it. Understand consistency and produce content at a consistent level. That will help with the YouTube rankings, help you get subscribers. But really, it's about I always say put the content first. Don't worry about the subscribers. Don't worry about all the videos you produce. I have 340 videos, right now. I never thought for a moment I'd hit 100 videos, let alone 340 videos. And I don't really care. As long as I feel that the videos I'm producing are stuff that I really want people to see, and I'm very happy with what I'm doing, I will produce videos. That's why I'm not consistent sometimes with my videos, because I'm never really satisfied with what I'm doing. And I have a lot more unpublished footage, like tons of unpublished footage. Nico knows how much I shot from the UK Stockcar Fest, and how many cameras I use. But I have so much unpublished footage that I have never deemed worthy to show to anyone. So, and that's the whole point of it. It's like you need to be very comfortable with what you're putting out there and saying, this is what I want the world to see. If you can do that, you should be fine. And the subscribers will come, the people will come as you get to connect with them on a more personal level. If I didn't start my live streams, maybe I don't get my 1,000 subscribers or whatever it is, but the live streams help me connect with the community, and that keeps us going. So don't lose hope, Clearwater. What I'm trying to say is that maybe vary up the content, do some live streams, do some shorts, do something that's different, and see how it works. Which one makes you happy? Which one makes you smile? Which one brings you confidence? I mean, I think Sheenanigans has been a great thing for me, because it allows me to break out and just be with Pete, and we just have a banter and we have fun. And I do that a lot with Joe as well. We can get we can get on calls. I mean, we do Discord calls that last hours because we just have banter with each other. And that's cool for me. And that's what I need for myself to feel like pursuing the next video and pursuing the next idea. So, Clearwater, just find that ground. And don't worry about the subscribers, and don't worry about how many videos you got. Worry about the content you're going to produce, and I think you'll do great. So that's my suggestion there. You guys want to chip in with anything there?
Yeah, just a quick add-on. By the way, Rahul had about 40 gigabytes on the first day, just to give you a rough idea. It was just the first day, and we were there for 5 days, so you can do your maths now. There is a DJ asking the same question for a second time. Sorry.
So DG?
Yeah.
Yeah,
DG?
so let's see. Yep. Let's see. Where is his question? Right here.
As helpful as YouTube.
As helpful as YouTube has been in promoting the hobby, has it been detrimental to your personal lives at all? Has it stolen time you'd otherwise have for other things? I personally will answer this first. No, because I've never put YouTube first over anything else. It's just when I have time. That's why maybe I'm not as consistent with my posts, but I do it when I feel like doing it. So that normally aligns with me not having to work on my client jobs or something else, and not having that pressure. So I am different in that fact, because YouTube is just for me another release and a hobby release, and it's not a part of my day-to-day routine. Does that make any sense? Mm-hmm. What about you, Nico?
Well, for me, it's fun. Producing the videos, and I really feel addicted, kind of, because I'm on the road at the moment, and I miss doing a video. Like, I really miss it. So that's another way, or now the life is just another way of getting over that. So let's put it that way. Yeah, I found that I really miss doing, if I can't do like one video a week, I really miss that because of other things. Yes, it does take time away, but everybody near me has already accepted my addiction because it's still slot cars and they were used to it before. I'm just doing it via this lens now, so that's the only difference.
Yeah. What about you, Joe?
Well, for me in the beginning, it was kind of like a guilty pleasure because when I wanted to start these videos and I had my list of every video I wanted to do, I kind of wanted to attack everything. So I made sure that there was enough time in the day and, and to let Jen know, right? So it was a little like I didn't miss parties or anything. I didn't miss family life that always came first. But I knew myself, and this is why again my biggest hurdle was me. It's because I needed to know that it's okay that if I to check in and make sure that I'm taking an hour off here, an hour to an hour, and that's it. Like and I'm gonna do this video. And sometimes it would last longer, so I'd be called for supper, and I'd be like, no, I can't leave because I'm in the creative zone and I didn't want to leave that. And as silly as that sounds, for it's just a slot car thing. I'm very lucky and fortunate that Jen never pushed me for that. She knew I was a bit of the music before that. She could see my obsessiveness with certain passions sometimes and certain hobbies. But I never let it get to that point. It was always like, give me this extra hour, or I'll catch up with you later. Go walk the dog, and I'll meet with you after the block. Let me just finish this, or I just want to edit this and be done with it. So I mean, I missed what, like maybe spending a little bit of TV time at night while as we're winding down. And if you have a partner or a girlfriend or wife that's accepting and understanding, as long as there's open communication, I think that's it's okay. But I mean, that should be put out forth if you're that type of person. But to actually take away time for myself, I really really try to limit that. But that's because I'm just like a creative person. Like when I have the guys over and we jam until we're done jamming, and it's like it's okay, or until one of us is fed up. So you have to kind of set boundaries. And but to answer the actual question, no, I didn't let it take up too much of my time because I wanted it. I was okay with that time that it did take up. You know what I mean? Like never invest more than you're willing to lose. Put it that way. And
Yeah.
that's what I want to say to that.
Yeah, so Slot Journal says producing content takes discipline. I found taking the time to record stuff can slow progress on building or making stuff. It can get very frustrating. I totally agree. It's one of my biggest pet peeves with myself is like I forgot to set up the camera. Like it's so weird because I don't know, I've built my track over and over, but I've never done a track building video. I've torn down and rebuilt my track multiple times. It's always at the end I just show my video, but everybody's like, "You should show us the process." I'm like, it never. It's so organic for me that I forget the camera, and I never set up a camera because I'm caught up in the moment. In that moment, I just want to build my track, and nothing matters. Like I've never planned a track build, set up a camera. I've just put my tables together and decide to build a track, and I'm done. And it's frustrating because then you go back and you watch like everyone else showing their track building videos and like I should have done that. And I totally understand the frustration, but I'm also very happy not doing that because that's not the part of the YouTube that I want people to see of myself, I guess. Like I said in the beginning, I just want to showcase what I want to showcase, and maybe track building is not my thing, and maybe it's not showing me painting a figure. Like we've done a couple of lives with painting figures, and I love painting figures. When I was
Well,
at Tara's booth, I love to paint figures, and painting figures is something that I really like to do. But it's funny that I don't like to do it on camera too much. It's just my time to de-stress, and I like to do it offline. So yeah, totally. I totally feel your frustration, Shot Journal. But showcase what you really want to showcase and leave the rest to be your own little private thing sometimes, I think. What do you guys feel about that?
I just want to add one thing, okay? I'm not coming at this to be like, oh, I know what I'm talking about. I got this channel. I just hit 500 subscribers. Guys, thank you so much. I mean, I never thought I still have to do that video. I never thought I'd even get there. My goal originally was do 12 videos, 10, 12 videos, and get the hell out. Say what you got to say, and just do it. Just document it so I can look back and laugh and be like, okay, yeah, I did that. But um, it's also about, I'm coming at the angle of a smaller channel. While you guys have different things of like you guys are bigger channels. So until you get enough of the community telling you, hey, Raul, do this type of video, do this type of video, you're like, oh, okay, well, I have enough people asking me for this type of video. I can do that type of content. I'm not there yet. I'm just there. Just the issues that come up in front of me, I just want to get them out. So there's going to be a wave of ideas, and then that wave is going to come down, and then I'm going to slowly build up my ideas and slowly put them out. So that's another thing too, right? It's all about structure. So I mean, you might be like, oh, I just never thought about putting the camera, but you've already got a different angle. You already have those subscribers built up. So your process, and I'm not criticizing anybody. I'm just saying like your process is different, is going to be different from other people, especially people just starting out, right?
Oh yeah,
So
like
it's
what I was trying to
it's
say
good
there
to
wasn't what it was just like the same thing. What Slot Journal was saying, he gets frustrated, like he didn't capture a
mhm.
moment. I've been many times. I've been frustrated. I'm like, you know what? I have so many cameras, but it's so funny. I need to be in the set space of recording. So the way I do things is I think about what I want to shoot, and I'll set a time in my calendar to say this is my time for recording, and then I'll charge up all my cameras and I'll be ready to go for that brief moment. Like when I shoot a car, normally it takes me 6 hours to shoot the car. I know it sounds stupid, but because I shoot with so many different cameras, I take 6 hours. It's 6 hours total to produce the video. Sorry, because it takes me about 2 or 3 hours of shooting with the different cameras. Then I edit it down that footage. I have like tons of footage, and then I'll clip it all down and I'll create my 5-minute video in 6 hours. I give myself 6 hours to do one car. That's how I do my cinematic videos. But the time for me to play with my cameras is limited to X amount of hours because I plan it out. It's not like I have cameras always available to record, because most of the time the cameras are away, because I don't have cameras around my desk where I work because I don't want to be distracted when I'm working. Because I have a habit of picking up my cameras and starting going through the settings and be like, and I'll get into a funk where I'll go for hours not doing my work and messing around with cameras. So I put everything that's a distraction away. That's why I don't have video games on my computer. Nothing. I try and keep my work computer very clean because I don't like distractions, because I can get very sidetracked real quick. So I have nothing that I can play with around my workspace. I just go down to the basement when I want to play, and I have set hours I play. So my recording of cameras is set to those times. So it's not like I can just pick up a camera whenever I want to set it up. So sometimes when I'm painting, I completely forget about the cameras because it's not programmed in me to set up my camera first and do this. It's just a matter of me painting. And I get frustrated because, I should have recorded that because, that's kind of cool, but it's too late, right? So I totally get what Slot Journal is saying, and I'm telling you the same, that, and I don't consider channels big or small because, like I said, I collect a lot of things, and when you go to other collections and you go to other channels with like sneakers themselves, I was just looking at sneaker channels today, and then 1 million, 6 million, 3 million, 2 million, it's like nuts, the big channels out there. So nobody's a big channel or small channel. I think we're just all up and coming. So that's the way I look at it, and everyone has their own way and recipe of doing things. That's all. So frustrations, totally get through that. Yeah.
For me, there are two more things important. I read in the comments a little while ago, I think it was Bo who mentioned, I need to get a good camera. Bo, no, not at all. There are so many guys out there doing it just with their mobile, like Massimo. He's doing all his stuff. I was so amazed that he really does all his stuff just with his mobile phone. And I mean, his stuff is really great.
It's impressive.
It is impressive. And all he had with him was his mobile, and saying, just give me a second. I'll just put it up. Now I forgot the second thing. Sorry, Rahul. Go ahead.
No worries. So
that's me, guys.
Let's push on to the next questions here. So we did the why, the who, the what. Let's talk about what advice would you give anyone starting today or to your past self from the future?
Well,
Okay, I guess I'm starting again.
yeah, go for it.
No, Nico, no, go.
Well, for a newbie, it is the same sentence as that we've mentioned so many times before. Just press that record and go for it. And it doesn't need to be a special type of camera. It doesn't need to be super expensive equipment. Yes, there are some equipment freaks out there. Don't want to mention names. How you doing, Rahul? And and so you just need to press the record button and just go for it, and forget about having how many subscribers, trying to catch as many subscribers at all. Do it because you like to do it. Do it for the fun. Do it for yourself. And as Joe mentioned, if you can get one person out there saying thanks for the video or thanks for the content, it helped me on. Hey, that's the biggest present you can get as a content creator, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah. So I got a few. I wrote down like 5 points of advice, and I'm just going to add to what Nico said, because what Nico said is exactly what I was going to say. Be yourself. Talk the truth. If you don't like a car, or you like a car for whatever reason, even if it's because of the spoke, just talk about it. And that's how natural you're gonna come out. Don't be like me, where I had to script everything and be like, everything has to be perfect and blah 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 blah. Those cuts that you see on my videos, that's because I rambled for too much and I had to cut myself all up because it was just ridiculous what I was saying, and I didn't want to give up. If you look at my third video when I'm wearing my black shirt, I was at my lowest. I was actually in a video depression because I'm like, this is the worst thing ever, and I was gonna quit after the third video because I was putting so much pressure on myself. Don't do that. Don't do that. Just start off and learn. Use every video as a learning experience. You could always take the video off after if you really don't like it, or leave it there. It's fine. You will progress and grow. So don't expect to be up here, especially if this is new to you. If this is really your first channel. So be yourself and take it slow. Second piece of advice is reach out to people. Hey, how did you get that video camera angle? How is it that your video's crisper than mine? Or how's that focus working? Reach out, ask people questions. This community will answer back for the most part. I have not received an email back from anybody. People get busy. It's different, right? Don't expect instant responses, guys. We're all human. We all have lives. But ask questions. That's advice number 2. Advice number 3, look at what other people are doing. Take what you like from that, and take what you're not crazy about from that, and make it your own, right? You want to talk about how you tune cars? That's why in my videos it's always, this is how I tune a car. This is how my next one, how I class the cars. This is how I do it. This is not how you should do it. This is just the way I do it. Maybe you get something out of it. And so take what you like from other people and adapt it to your own. It's okay. It's not stealing. It's slot cars. We're all going to talk about the same thing eventually. It's just it is a little difficult to do that too, because it is almost not necessarily the same thing over and over again, but it's like there's only so many time trials you can do. But time trials on someone else's track is interesting, so it's not wrong. Like, just start. Don't think, oh, someone else did it, I won't do it. No, do it your way, because you might have an angle that you don't even realize you have. Right? Try, experiment. That's my next advice. Just experiment with stuff. I have a fifth one, but it's not really advice. It's more of how I see.
Joe's got all the notes.
Yeah, I had to.
He's the organized one.
I'll just I'm gonna go here a bit, and then we'll let Joe finish off. But here we go. First, Tony. The reason why Pete. Okay, go for it. But let me just address Tony here. So Tony Tibbs, Pete's not here because Pete has COVID. We miss him dearly. I'm pretty sure he'll catch us on Sunday when he's back. But yeah, that's why he's not here. But thank you for tuning in, and you'll have to deal with Nico and Joe here. And Joe, continue your 6th point of advice.
So my last piece of advice is, and this just happened to me last week. Okay, watch videos until the end. Even if you like, oh, whatever, I've seen this one before. This guy's talking about whatever 124. It's not interesting to me, or only 132, or he's talking about tires. And watch it anyways. Right? If there's someone you like, watch it to the end, because YouTube is like, and I don't mean this in a like bad way or anything, but YouTube is like a bargain bin where you're just like rummaging through stuff. When I'm looking for information, I start going through the YouTube. Okay, look up this, search this specifically, and go through every video, even if it's like, oh wow, whatever, the video is not what I'm looking for or whatnot. Listen to the whole video, because you never know what information you might get. Just last week, not even, like a couple of days ago, I was watching a video. A guy was explaining Carrera analog to digital, and he finally did it. There was a guy who actually took, two head units and made his own switch and whatnot. And I'm like, okay, I've seen this 100 times. I have the text log box, but I watched it anyways. And at the end, and I didn't know this, if you take a Carrera car, digital car, and you put it on the analog track and you click it a couple times, it'll automatically go into analog mode. Now, I
Yeah.
might be the only one today knowing about that, but I didn't know that. So I found little bits of information. Watch these things. That bargain bin, if you're looking for just entertainment, well, there's a great bunch of guys making fun videos, cues, MP slot car, time trials, and making it a fun little a little adventure, a little getaway, a little episode of like a comedy TV show, whatever. So there's that there too. So look at YouTube as a source of information at this point. Go through it, rummage through it, see what you can pull out, and then either adapt it to your own. Or if you look at it at that mindset, don't look at it as the absolute to be like, oh, whatever, this is on YouTube, so it's final. It's not final. We're all here to grow and expand and do what we got to do. And I'm done. I'm not going to talk anymore. Good.
Yeah, so the one piece of advice I have for myself was when I started YouTube for the first year, I did not connect with anyone in the community. I was afraid. I was afraid that I didn't have anything to contribute because, like I said, I didn't come here knowing slot cars that well. I came in just having a slot car track, so I didn't know tuning, I didn't know racing or any of that. So the first year, I just did my own videos because I was just capturing content for myself, learning my camera, so I never engaged with the community. And I think that was the biggest advice I'd say to myself. Yeah, going back would be just engage with the community. If you really want to be in this hobby and this hobby is everything, means a lot to you, then the community is an awesome way to feel at home. And I think that's the biggest advice I give to myself, because like I said, the three people that are on screen here today, if I didn't connect with the community, I wouldn't know you guys. And I think that's been the richest part of my YouTube journey. The most rewarding part is having these new friends, and I say that's the biggest advice I'd give to myself. Yeah, going back.
Yeah, I didn't realize, again, this is going to be part of my looking back video, of a year in the hobby, because it makes a year in June now that I've been that I actually got my track. Not that I have a YouTube channel, but I got my track. And I had to step back and be like, the other night I was on the Discord and I was just chatting with some of the guys on there. And I'm like, we complain that, oh, there's not a lot of us. So like the range, I gotta drive 6 hours to come see Euro and Massimo just to like, talk and actually race slots. It's not the end of the world, but you know what? When you're on the channel and you're chatting with guys and people are going to connect and there's going to be people that you like and people that you're not that you don't like, but just people that you're just going to connect with, right? Like my Pete, you have your Pete, I have my Pete, and we can just talk for hours. And that's just what the realization of this hobby is. We're all into it. We're all going to talk about the same thing, but we're all separated. But through the power of the internet, we can all talk about it and share with everybody in the community. So I don't really even see it as like a channel and trying to get big or whatnot. It's like, this is what Joe's doing in his basement. If you're interested, come check me out. If you're not, that's okay. I'll just talk to you, or we'll see you in the Discord, or we'll see you in the comments, and that's okay too. We are such a vibrant community that rolls around. I think it's like a tornado. I think that's what people have to also try to see this as when they get in. It's like it's not just one versus everyone else. It's we're in this together. You're doing a channel, reach out. We're gonna help each other out, 100%. I mean, at least that's how I feel about it. So,
Go for it, Nico.
Sorry, I just remember one comment of Marco from Electric Dreams, catching up after the UK Stock Car Festival, saying he was so amazed to see 4 YouTube creators in one room doing the same thing on covering the same topic and without having any problems within each other, meaning there was no competition, there was nothing. We added our personality, our editing, our fun, it was piled up, and it was not against each other. We were adding up. I hope I
Yeah,
get
one of
this
my
point.
favorite
Sorry.
one of my favorite moments at the UK Slackout Fest was I'm videoing Tara's booth, and I never released this video, but I'm videoing Tara's booth, and then MP walked in with his camera, and then Nico came in, and I was like, how many YouTubers does it take to film one booth at the same time? And it was hilarious because we were bantering with Tara. Each one of us was having a conversation with Tara, but it was hilarious because we were feeding off of each other, and was just, I thought it was a really beautiful, candid video. I actually have it, but I never played it. I never released it, but that's one of my favorite video clips of the entire show. There was a lot of inappropriate language in that clip too, but so that's the reason why some of it was kept behind.
Wasn't me.
No, it was me mostly.
Wasn't me.
Because Tara's booth who had a lot of things to talk about.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. So like to Marco's point, there is no competition between us. I don't compete with any one of you guys. I love all the YouTubers. I love all the Slackout guys. I have no competition with anyone. I think all power to everyone that's doing stuff like Slackout Wildman is doing some crazy cool stuff with Betty and with Hughes, and it's fun and it's live. It's great, and then we need that kind of content as well. Pat's new show, Pat Slackards, is going to be great. We'll talk about that a bit later, but let's go to our final question for today. Where do you think your YouTube journey is going to be taking you? This is a very open-ended question, but what do you think? What's in the future for you guys? What do you think is going to be the future for the hobby? What do you think is the future of the YouTube videos that you're going to produce, or the things that you're looking forward to seeing coming out? Go for it.
We'll keep with the pattern. I'll go first, I guess. I don't know so much of where it's going to take me as much as like what it's teaching me. Right now it's teaching me patience, creativity, quality over just doing it just to do it. But I guess now thinking about it, now that we've had time to chat, whatever, it's taking me right here. It's taking me to do lives and jumping on channels, talking with friends, like I was just mentioning before, talking about friends that you come across and you just connect with. And I'm hoping, and I've got this mindset now that I'm only 40. Well, I just turned 43, but I'm nowhere close to retirement, just depending on who you talk to. So I've got this hobby now and God willing, for the rest of my life until I retire at whatever age that the universe seems willing. So I'm looking forward to the future. And this is something that's helped me slow down and helped me realize don't worry about that video just yet. You have plenty of time to do that video. You're still learning stuff. There is quality content to put out there. So I think it's taking me as far as you guys are willing to accept me at this point. That's how I want to answer that question.
What about you, Nico?
I've got no clue where it's going to take me, and I don't want to know it, because so far it's been a fun ride all the way up, only up. There are no downs. Only getting home was a down, but that's a different story. No, not because of my wife. Hang on, don't get that misinterpreted. Okay, no.
Time out.
Time out. Yeah, it was an emotional down, because whenever there's a big up, the low is gonna, or the down is gonna come, and it was there definitely. So, but it was for a good reason. I've got no idea where it's gonna take me. I don't want to know it. I'll just ride the wave as long as it's there. So it's probably, as you said, Joe, as long as people want me, I'll do it. And even if they don't, I guess I'll still do it, because I'll do it for myself. So
exactly. So I have a question actually for both of you,
Sure.
and this is impromptu. It's like, what's been your favorite video that you've produced thus far? How many videos do you guys like? I have 340 videos, but there's that one video that I always will be my favorite. But I want to know from you guys if you have a favorite video you've already produced that you think, oh, this was beautiful. From the moment I started to the moment I finished, I actually had fun doing this video. Which one is that? if you have one.
Well, tell us yours. You just said it. You have one. Pick it. Tell us first.
I don't
You
want to go first. You have to go first. This. Do you have one? Is there one
can't-
that
okay, so
sticks
I
in
I
your
guess
the
Joe
mind?
first
was
time-
just trying to get some time
Yeah.
to think about it. You were
So
just
for
trying
myself, my favorite video to date, and it's still not my perfect video, but it was the process of creating the video. Is still the Green Monster video. I had the most fun doing that video. It was everything I wanted to do with a video in my limited capacity of knowledge of video creation. I am very limited, very new to that kind of world. But that was my favorite video to date. It will always be a special video because of the effort it took and what I had to do to create it. So yeah, and it wasn't like I took a long time to create it, but it's just a video that will always, I think, will be my defining video at the moment. And my goal in the future is just to top that one. Try and top it again. See if I can get to that effect as well. So yeah, now your turn to go.
And Nico, can I go?
Sure, go for it.
Okay, thank you. I think just looking back, if I had to choose one, I think it was 5 reasons to race with your wife. That was a fun one to do, and I got to, keep it within the hobby and make it light and fun. And I mean, not everyone is married, not everyone has a girlfriend at the moment watching it, but I just figured, the guys were always talking and being like, "Oh yeah, the wife, don't hide this from the wife. How much did that cost you this one?" And I'm like, "Well, let's just do something fun." And I did that like in the middle of like, the whole list of videos I wanted to do. So I'm looking back, anything I get to do with my wife on the channel and make fun of or race or banter, I think is going to be my favorite, or my looking ahead, going to be some of my favorite videos to do. But the 5 reasons definitely was that was a fun video.
I wanted to just say goodnight to Janu. He's just taking off to bed. Sorry, man, I didn't acknowledge you. I feel bad. But Janu is an amazing artist. If you haven't seen it, watch Pete's last live stream. He was showing off some of Janu's art. Pretty cool. Slot Journal says, I look forward to seeing the hobby continue to grow. Where it is today versus 20 plus years ago is pretty impressive, and there's more to come. That's Nico's line, is it? There's more to come.
There's more to come.
Yeah, always.
Thanks, Mark.
All right. Well, I think we kind of. Nico, you have something to add?
Yeah, Nico.
Well,
Yeah.
my favorite video.
Yeah. What's your favorite video? Let's make you big.
I've got two, to be honest, not just one. The first one is the one with Travis at Carrera World, of course. I mean, that was a blast.
Yeah.
And the second one is Brothers, where I just put together all the photos that we made during our journey in the UK. So definitely those two. But what they have in common is good friends.
Yeah,
through
100%.
YouTube. Yeah.
All right, so now we get into some fun stuff. We finished all the discussion for tonight. We're just going to go into reactions, some new cards that are coming out. We're going to put them on screen, and you guys pick your favorite out of the three, if there's any. Go.
Holden.
The Holden. All right. Nico picks the Holden. What about you, Joe? Is there any of these three that you put on your track or in your collection?
No, the Land Rover. Just because it reminds me of like those old, King Kong movies where they're like traversing the jungles, and when I see that truck, I see old 50s movies of whatnot. I think that's pretty cool.
Nice. I picked the Bug, although I wish it was Herbie.
You would.
But I do like the Bug. So next screen, here we go. Some more cars. I know which one Nico will go for.
Which is?
The middle one, of course. The McLaren MAD, probably.
Not this time.
What?
The other McLaren.
The other McLaren. Okay, you went with the 720S.
Yes.
This is the NSR one. Runs pretty good.
Yes.
What about you, Joe?
I don't like any of these cars, but the one, if I had to pick one, I'm going to take.
No,
the
you don't
Mercedes
have to pick one. You can just say I don't like any of these cars and be done with it. That's the whole point of Shenanigans. You're not gonna hurt anyone's feelings.
Okay, I'm not trying to. I'm just, if I had to,
You don't like any of them?
I like
Yeah.
the design of the new AMGs, but I'm not like I'm not. None of these are screaming at me to be like, I need this in my collection.
So we got one for the Beetle from Harry. Actually likes something. I have to bring this on screen
What?
because
What?
Harry has actually chosen something. He chose the Beetle, and it happens to be the one thing that I chose too. So I'm feeling very lucky today. I may be going out to buy a lottery ticket. Slaka Wildman chooses the McLaren. Um, I don't see any Porsches, so I stay out of this one. So not on this page. Nothing for me. And here you go, the trio of the Mark IV Ford. Now this is a gorgeous looking car. Which livery is your favorite?
I was looking at all three of them because we have a class coming up where we can drive this car, and I already saw it on an Austrian page, all three liveries, and I was going like, I've got no clue which one to choose if I would need to go for one. If I say the Martini one, that's the Martini one.
Yeah.
They're all Martini ones.
That's why.
Exactly. Beautiful. Nice answer. Nice answer. What about you, Joe? Would you pick this car at all? Is it your style?
I mean, I like that. I like that that group. I like that class of cars. Would I pick a Ford? Never in my lifetime.
Oh
I
my
don't think they
god.
deserve to have anything red on their cars. So I would, if again, if I had to choose, it would be yellow versus the white. Just to respect that for Martini. But Ford and red, don't insult me.
Okay. All right. He's
All
all
right.
right. Well, Harry likes the yellow one. So once again, me and Harry are in.
We've
in
got
the
two
same,
cars that Harry
we're in the
likes.
same room
Come on.
again. I mean,
How would-
Harry and me. I like the yellow one too. I just like bright cars on track. I think it looks fun. But yeah. But once again, it's not a Porsche, so it'll never be in my collection. So we'll move on. Next slide is we wanted to point to Magnetic Racing's new terrain piece. I think this is so awesome. This is the new what would I call it? Gas station with the garage attachment. It's modeled out of a car they saw, a garage they saw on Route 66 in America, and they also have the low relief one as well. I just wanted to say thanks to Doug and Ian for continuing to produce some cool terrain. Did you watch that video, Nico?
Oh,
or Joe?
yes.
Yeah.
No, I missed
I was envious of Ian on the beach.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
And I was he posted pictures on Facebook now being at Quick Crack.
Yeah, I know. That's like my home store when I'm in Barcelona. 20 minutes
Jesus.
away from where we live. So that's
I
a
would kill
beautiful
for that.
place. Yeah,
I would
yeah.
kill for that.
Yeah. So anyway,
Are those doors automatic?
I believe they open and close. You can model them either open or close. I do not think they're automatic. I mean,
Well, that's what I meant. I like, do they open and close? Like, I mean,
think-
like on a.
No, well,
Like
no,
electric
no.
or-
You can actually do that pretty easily with living wood. They call it living hinges and stuff.
Okay, no, yeah, sorry, yeah. So the doors are functional that you can actually open and close them, but they don't. There's no mechanism. You don't flip a switch and they open and close
No,
automatically.
no. That's
Well,
Pete's
maybe
thing.
if you look on Daz's channel, he will add that
Yeah,
in the
Daz
future.
will probably do that. Daz is the one that
Yeah.
makes the rotating
Well, I just
notebook.
because I kind of know of a product that's going to be coming out soon that has all that stuff, so I just I don't
Okay.
wanna-
Yeah, this is purely
Let's see.
MDF. This is not 3D printed.
Okay.
Yeah, so I know who you're talking about. We understand your Pete has to have a stay here, so we'll leave that to Show Me Slot Cars. Is coming out with a 3D printed garage with automated doors and everything else, and we'll look excited to see that as soon as he has it released. And he sends me a video now, Pete. Yeah, send me something so I can put it up on this, so we can showcase it. But 100%, we'll showcase it.
By the way, the thing I like most on that picture is the red VW bus. No, just kidding. Sorry.
Well, it has the best logo on the side of it. It's called Porsche. There you go. All right, so we are.
Guys, I have to just pause for a minute. Continue. I have to just check something because I am
No
at work.
problems.
So
Yeah,
excuse me
no
for 1 minute.
problems.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
I'll just put myself on
Sure.
mute.
Well, we're getting to the exciting part of the show. This is called the pit stop. This is called a red, green, and amber light. And unfortunately, Pete is not here because Pete went through this with me, and he chose he chose the lights this week, and then he's not here. So we're going to go through the lights once again. Before we start, I'm going to say that our opinions are none but our own, and nobody needs to get upset with us. We're just talking amongst ourselves, and we're discussing things, and nothing we're saying here is going to be life-threatening or life-changing for anyone. So just going to put that out there before we get started. And so once again, like I said, Pete and I discussed these. He's not here, but we're just going to go through them. So the first one is eBay. So I don't know if you know this, but Pete had a very, very bad experience with eBay over the last week and a half or so. I'm not too sure about what it is because I personally love eBay, but Pete gave eBay a red light. I'm pretty sure we'll cover this probably on Sunday because he's been dying to talk about this, and he left it for Shenanigans, and then he's not here today. But he had a bad experience with a seller on eBay, and I think he wants to talk about it to you guys and tell you his experience and why he's giving this a red light. And I'm not talking about eBay itself, but actually the buyer that he dealt with gave him a very bad experience. So he gave eBay a red light, and I'm not qualified enough to go through it. I personally love eBay. I have my own store on eBay. I'm going to plug it now. If you're looking at any of my slot card collection, it is on eBay for sale. And I keep on uploading it very slowly, I might add, over time. But, yeah, anyway. Moving on. The second one is, once again, from Pete. This is for NSR. I think it's Ultra Grip tires. He's 50-50 on this tire because he's used it in racing. And he can't get it to work, and he has other people that have used it in racing. Some of them can get it to work, and some of them can't. So Nico's shaking his head. So
yes, because it's something I can't understand. Because I gave him the tool, I presented him on a silver tablet the tool to make it work, and he hasn't even tried it yet. And if you ask Massimo, that was when we were at a club together, and I used this secret chemical stuff, which is no secret at all. And Pete just said, yeah, thanks, I have it. I haven't used it yet. Pete, use it. That's why I gave it to you. Yeah, we're talking about cream, hand cream.
So anyway, Pete, let me just put this eBay handle here. They asked for it.
Oh, I just put it in the chat, but yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so here we go. So Pete said that 50% of the club love this tire and 50% hate this tire. So he's giving it an amber light because he doesn't understand, because people more qualified than himself have said that this tire doesn't work for them either. So he's kind of on the fence, and he wanted to bring it up as an amber light. Whether he should continue using it or not, he's on the fence. But once again, this is a Pete thing that we discussed on Monday when he was all fine and dandy for the show, but he's not here today. I'm pretty sure we can ask him about this later, and I'm pretty sure this will probably make an appearance at the next Shenanigans show, which will be on Pete's channel, so he can talk about it. But and finally, the last light for this evening is actually from both of us, and this is for our good friend Pat Slots, who started his channel, started his YouTube journey. We want to thank everyone who's jumped onto YouTube and launched a channel. But special green light to Pat, because we needed you, buddy, and we're so glad you're here. Your table looks awesome. Your wheels on the table are great for wheeling around. I love the Echo trains and the N-scale trains on your track. I think you're going to do phenomenal, and I really loved your second video as well. I think you're going to do great, Pat, and we're so happy that you're here. And a big green light to you, and I wanted to thank you for launching, and we'll watch your journey with Ernest, and we'll learn a lot of things from each other, I think, on the way. Have any of you watched past? I know, Nico, you did. And Joe, have you?
No, I'm actually looking them up right now so I can subscribe and check it out.
Yeah, you can subscribe.
What's
Anybody can subscribe. It's called Pat Slots. So PATS space Slots. He's got 2 videos now online. Please check him out. He's from Down Under, and he's great. And I'm so happy to have him on board. So thank you very much. And finally, before we wrap things up, please tune in for our next show. It will be June 27th. It is on Pete Brown channel of Track Fans TV, as you guys know him. I will be there once again. And any of you of my guests or any of you in the chat who want to jump on, just let us know. And we'll be happy to have you on as well. Once again, like I said, we do have a topic that we talk about. I presented to you guys. And we'll be off and running. So let's wrap this up now. And you guys have any final thoughts? I wanted to say thank you once again to both of you for being here. Nico for jumping on, and Joe for being last minute entry. I really appreciate it. And thank you so much for contributing. I mean, it was, Joe got the slides last minute as well. And he still wrote notes. I think that's really impressive. But that's Joe. That's why Joe is Joe, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, thanks for listening to my ramble, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, no. You know what? It was a good roundtable discussion. I think there's a lot of what that we can take away from it ourselves and the people in chat as well.
Can I just plug the Discord again?
Yeah, 100%, man. Please plug all your channels.
The Stalkyard guys, like, we have such good conversations. I mean, now it's a little bit of a lull. I mean, I get it, summertime, people are out, but like when you just grab somebody on Discord and get that conversation going, like all this is always usually continued on there. And we have Harry, actually, we have to bring him up again. Excuse me, but Harry finally got on Discord. So he's there. We're going to have a party for him. Come join the party to get him, eventually he'll figure out how to work the video, but we're working on it, and anybody can use it. It's super, a little bit of a learning curve, but like, this is where we can continue this conversation. I'm so happy to see everybody there. Everyone's so polite and helpful, and we're sharing our tracks, we're sharing our ideas. And, if you have a minute, come check us out, come say hello, and, stay, come say hello, but stay for the conversation, right? Like, we want to see everyone's experiences and their tracks and their cars and how you guys do things. It's such a great way to get to know everybody too. So I just, I want to push that as well. And again, not obligatory, but it's always great to see all you guys coming in and joining. And we're getting good subscribers, man. We started off with 12 guys. We're like 60 guys now. It's pretty awesome. So thank you for that. I just want to say thank you for that.
Cool. Nico, last words, anything you want to talk about? Plug your channel, do your thing.
No. All good. I must admit, you guys helped me on tonight. I started the conversation prior our live saying I don't know how to set up my channel for the future. Now I know. I'll just keep it the way it is. Mostly, yes, I will change a few bits and pieces here and there, but still, thanks, Joe. Thanks, Rahul. You got me back on the wagon, so to say. I'll just keep doing what I'm doing.
100%.
And having fun on it.
Yeah, so I wanna just address something. A lot of people have been messaging me, asking me why I'm leaving the hobby. And I'm gonna address this again. I'm not leaving the hobby. Never once did I say I was leaving the hobby. I'm just adjusting my collection. So when I started collecting, I collected willy-nilly. I collected everything that moved. Slot cars, I collected it. The problem with the collection is, after a while, you tend to not play with cars that you're not interested about, and they sit on the shelves. And as I looked at my collection, I was like, you know what? I want to trim this down. I want to really refocus my collection. I want to be more of a specific collector. So I kind of drilled down and made a decision. And it's a tough decision. Obviously, I have a lot of very beautiful cars that I love, but I can't keep all of them. And I just wanted to choose a brand. So I decided to just trim down my collection and go with just Porsche, rally car, and Mopar. And rally cars and Mopar. That's it. That's all my collection is going to be. So a lot of the stuff that you'll see me put up is anything but that, unless I have doubles. And with Porsches, I tend to have a lot of doubles and triples.
Actually, Raul, that's not true. What you're saying is not true, because every time I say, "Oh, hey, do you have this car?" You're like, "Yeah, you know what? Maybe I won't sell that one." So it just seems that every car that I'm like interested in, you seem to be like, "Oh no, you know what? Maybe I'll keep this one for sentimental because that one time I was walking in the street."
You're just talking about the F40, aren't you? You had to bring up the F40.
Rally cars, some of the Porsches. Come on.
Yeah. We'll talk next week. Aren't you coming down to see me next week? You're coming to stay with me for the weekend, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. You better be
Ooh.
nice to me now. No, I'm looking forward to having Joe and his wife come down. The true racer. He's finally bringing a good racer to the house. So I'm not talking about you, Joe. I'm talking about your wife.
I know.
Anyway, I see some guys dropping in now. Marty just dropped in. Slaka Hub or Shane from Down Under also dropped in. Hey Marty, hey Shane. We're actually wrapping it up, guys. I'm really sorry you guys came tail end, but thank you for being here. I appreciate everybody that's on screen. Nico, Joe, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate everyone who came into the chat and spent this afternoon with us, or evening or night, depending on where you're from.
My pleasure.
I appreciate you guys candidly discussing your YouTube journeys and your experiences. And until next time, I want you guys to have fun on rails. As people say, track fans are out. And see you guys later. Take care, guys. Bye.
Take care.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.